morning and welcome aboard. We're getting all set up here for the trading morning. It's 9:15 a.m. on January 21st, 2021. Everything we do is for educational purposes only. Nothing is to be taken as direct trading advice or investment advice. You're trading between you and your broker at your own risk. We're concentrating on the S&P 500 E-mini here. So if you're coming in as a guest, put up an S&P 500 E-mini chart. Check out Saul's charts. Saul Sherwool is your host. He's been actively scalping, trading for the last 25 years or so. Should see a series of 3 charts in a separate chart window. 2 time frames for the S&P 500 E-mini and a 30-year bond chart. If you're joining us in from the outside, check the link in the area that you are coming in on and join us live in Zoom. Hey, Andrea, are you part of Saul's Monthly? Just let me know back in chat. Andrea R. Hey, Bimal, Ian, KG, Mark. Hey, Robert C. Andrea. Another Andrea. So, Andrea, let me know back in chat so that I can keep you safe from the AI bot. I did send you out a link to sign up for Saul's Monthly. It's $25 a week. Anybody else that hasn't signed up, make sure that you sign up. I'll give you the discounted link out to the chat feature and GoToWebinar. We've got a few more people coming in. As we get close to the cash open, Saul will pop in. I just sent that link out to everybody. Hey, Fur, welcome. Hey, Fur, let us know that you see our charts and hear my voice. You are welcome. How did you find Saul? And are you new or experienced in trading? Hey, Kirk, good morning. Oh, that's great. Well, welcome aboard. Hey, Kirk, good morning. This is an opportunity to really focus on doing 2, 3, 4, 5 trades, banking your money for the day, and being finished for the day based on a Saul's price action trading strategy, his proprietary scalping levels that help him in his strategy. We'll go over a little bit more of that in a minute or two. Hey, Andrea R, are you back? Just let me know in chat. Hey, Joel, good morning. Hey, Joel. Hey, Mark L. Hey, Marco, how are you enjoying Saul's course time? You know, the classes. Hey, Fur, do you have a S&P 500 E-mini chart up and everything? You know, let us know if you need software or, you know, you're able to practice trade the S&P 500 E-mini. I'm not sure where you are on the curve. What we do here is provide, in our humble opinion, better levels, proprietary scalping levels, great commentary in and around the trade. You know what I'll send out to you is Saul's he's got a New Year's discount on his stuff. Hey, Andrea R, I'm going to have to let you go. I don't want to do that. Just give me a quick high sign that you're alive and well and not a bot. Hey, Frank. Hey, Glenn. Hey, Timothy. So now he gives them out. So he comes in live. We go through the morning session together. He gives out his levels in audio. So you'll be able to write them down. It starts out with a pivot, a price, and other levels on top and bottom of the pivot. Those become the actionable areas for his methodology today. 2, 3, 4, 5 trades. You know, it's not much. Well, I should put it this way. It's the levels themselves, right? Based on your experience here, the levels speak for themselves. You'll hear Saul based on what he's doing in and around those levels. I mean, you hear other stuff. There's conversation that goes on, but everybody seems to perk up, focus when the market is moving and the levels are coming into play. You know, the cash open is pretty active in and around the pivot depending on the day. And then, you know, the first couple levels here and there. You know, based on trading advantage over other traders, based on being part of this service, you know, on a monthly basis. Obviously, it's a paid service. You know, the opportunity one is to get Saul's levels, and if they're better than the levels that you get elsewhere, then that's a real plus and bonus. And I think you'll figure that out, you know, by witnessing. And then this commentary, able to ask questions. It's very much a, you know, a focused place to put trades on and take them off. But the real mission here is for you to learn Saul's price action trading methodology and have him teach it to you in his intensive. And that's really where the rubber meets the road.
All right. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Can everybody hear me all right? All right. All right. 21st of January today, and market is all-time highs after yesterday's continued rally here. Again, the numbers are coming out. It is earnings season, and earnings are pretty good, and considering, and obviously the anticipation of a stimulus package to be passed in Washington adds to the buoyancy of the market. Very slow overnight trade, very quiet overnight trade, very range bound overnight trade. Throttle down your expectations just a little bit. Hopefully we get a couple opportunities here. We don't know. We might get very busy, and I'm thinking we're not going to be busy at all. So who knows, right? We are in a we just never know when these kind of things happen, when we're going to get busy. We're at the mercy of the market, that's for sure. So let's give you our levels for this morning and see where the market takes us. Our pivot this morning is 38.49. We support 42, 35, 27, and 19. Resistance on the upside at 59, 69, 80, and 88. Pivot 49, resistance above at 59, 69, 80, and 88. Support below at 42, 35, 27, and 19. All right, like I said, numbers very, very quiet overnight. There was a couple numbers that came out at 7:30, about an hour ago, and those pushed the market down a little, as you can see, and basically kind of find this little range here. But overall, the market has been very, very quiet overnight. Very exceptionally light volume. And again, that usually happens when the markets tend to go up, but they seem to, the way it's been going lately, and it doesn't mean it's going to happen today. Just, we seem to break in the morning a little bit, some profit taking, and then the rest of the day they come back in and get long because they're afraid not to miss the rally here. At least some people are. So I don't know if that's going to happen today or not, but we had some opportunities yesterday, considering the trade also was very quiet. We had to be patient and wait for the opportunities to present themselves, and once they did, you were able to eke out a little bit of opportunities. So hopefully you're all able to do that as we're opened up here, and we'll see which way this thing wants to go. If you look at the chat box area, we have the levels posted up there. So if anybody missed them verbally, they're posted up in the chat box area. If you bring down your chat box, and that's a good way for you to ask me some questions. I have my chat box open up here versus the Q&A window. So ask me questions through your chat box. I'll get to it faster, and when I see it, quicker. So that's that. All right, again, we're opening up here. I don't plot the levels on on our charts because we might have to make adjustments to it based on price action. They're a guide to our trading. It's not so much so where they are imprinted in stone that we don't adjust. So it's not. I mean, I would like to have them. I mean, I could. It's just that's not practical, I don't think, because as a trader, you have to adjust to the price action and market movement, and sometimes it's perfect, sometimes it's not, and we have to make adjustments to the level, and so that's the reason that I don't. It's not one of those things that you say to yourself, "Oh, this is where this is it." So that's why I don't have them up there. We always look at the price action to help us validate the level, at least depending on how it moves. So Sometimes we have to adjust. Sometimes we cancel the level based on what happened just a little bit prior to that. So this is not always the, that's why I don't put our lines in our charts to indicate where our support resistance are. I give them verbally, and then we make adjustments as we go along. All right, we're bouncing here off of our blue band here, off of our pivot. If you are a little aggressive, maybe you're taking it. There's their levels in the chat box area. Again, for those of us who maybe missed them. All right, and continue to down tick here, a little support down at the 42 area. Again, if you're a little aggressive there, maybe you got short there against the pivot for a reason, and you have your exit strategy up there too, so it's not like we are guessing here. The price action kind of dictated that opportunity there. Again, it's one of those things that, in addition to the levels that we give out, it's very light volume today. There's not much going on here, unfortunately. I hate to say it. Just move around a little bit, but not really that much. But anyway, we use our levels as opportunities and also price action opportunities as well. Maybe I suggested the short there against our pivot for a reason. That was a price action opportunity based on the work that we do. We don't believe the markets go straight up or straight down. Consequently, we use we find these our levels of support and resistance levels, plus also price action opportunities as well, to take advantage of the ebbs and flows in the market. And together we put a methodology, those two, and try to come out with a game plan every day to trade the market. And everything that I say here is taught experience. So if this interests you and you want to take it to another level, definitely hook up with us and we'll see if we can work with you. But this is what we do here on an everyday basis. We used to trade from the floor of the exchange, but due to the virus here, we haven't been able to get on the floor anymore. And I don't even know if we're going to, that's even going to be a option going forward. Who knows, right? Who knows? So our stop loss, depending on the day, looks like today it's about 2 to 3 points, with a 2 to 3 points opportunity. If the market present themselves, I think you could have gotten more than 2 or 3 points on this rotation here off of our pivot. But minimally 2 to 3 point stops with 2 to 3 point profit targets when the markets are this tight and the volatility is not there. We're always looking. We are obviously traders are concerned, thinking about volatility all the time, because that's how we trade. We're concerned about volatility all the time. So we kind of let the market again dictate what we do. Do we use market profile in our work? We do, but we use it not so much as time, but as for volume. So some of the levels opportunities there intraday, and some of the price action opportunities probably would occur with usage of a little market profile. Again, not so much time, but volume traded at prices. That's how they've adjusted their work, and we've adjusted it. I was looking at that before I read that they adjusted it, but we used it. We used a market profile when we were trading on the floor. So I am very familiar with it, and it's a good concept, and again, unfortunately, because of electronic trading or screen trading or whatever you want to name what we're doing now, compared to pit trading, the focus is more on volume versus like it used to be time before. So that's what we look at. I guess you could give him credit for that, but I mean, we were looking at it before he made his transition. He had to. I mean, the way things were going, the way the markets were moving around, looking at time didn't give us too much help, unfortunately. That's okay. Adjustments. You always have to keep adjusting. It's key to being successful in this business. So we had some numbers that came out this morning: housing starts, initial claims, Philly Fed. All those numbers already came out. There's nothing forward-looking this morning. So they were all, as you can see here, when the numbers came out, a little bit bearish, as they kind of tanked it a little bit early on. Coming back here. So again, that's what those numbers are out. So we have nothing coming out during our trading morning. Welcome to some new folks that are jumping in here. We are trading mini S&Ps. We gave out support and resistance levels when the market opened up. We'll try to repeat them in the chat box area. If you have the chat box area up, there they are. Those are levels that we gave out this morning. Those are kind of guiding posts for us to help us with our trading day. We can make adjustments to those based on price action. So if they're not at, that's why we don't put lines on our charts. We like clean charts. We don't really do, I don't like to use indicators that much. People sometimes fall back on indicators to give them a false sense of security when you're entering your trades. We like to just let the market kind of give us those opportunities, that security part of entering your trades with the price action, instead of depending on some indicators, which most of the time are laggers, for sure. So as we come down here to the 42 area, so we have a little support down in this area here. Let's see what the market wants to do. Again, just keep your stop in there. You don't have to get too crazy about not using stops. Again, that's the reason they're there. As we're bouncing up here a little bit. Again, if it came back here to 42, giving you a little bit of a chance to make a little bit of money on the trade here. Definitely got in on the lower end. You're getting, maybe get out of some. And see if we can't pop this back up here a little bit. Again, if you're trading multiple contracts, you're able to take some scaling in and scaling out as we come up here, back up here to the 44. So nice little trade there if you are able to get in there against the 42 area. Nice quick rotation there. Not too much heat, just a little bit of a little push to the downside and then flash back up. So nice little quick scalp there for us. Again, we're just trying to take advantage of ebbs and flows of the market. And, we had one flash up there to 44 and change, and then coming back down here. So again, hopefully you were able to take advantage of that trade. Next level down is the 35 area. Like I said, we could have gotten short against the pivot this morning if you were a little aggressive. There was a reason get in at that level. So I don't think it was a terrible trade. I even mentioned it early on, and we don't like to take trades quickly. We kind of, maybe some of us like to let the market kind of play itself out a little bit, but that was kind of it was just there. So if you did take it, yeah, if you did partake with the short there against the 49, maybe you were able to hold on to it to the 42 area here. If not, hopefully you were able to take something out of it, and then we did bounce off of the 42 here a little bit. So you can see here we're just trying to take advantage of ebbs and flows of the market. You could have been short, or you could have gotten long. That's what trading's all about. How you get in, how you get out. So again, the short was for a reason, and your exit strategy was, you could have seen it there, I think, pretty easily. So hopefully some of you who are trading with us kind of took advantage of that. And a nice rotation down here if you're trying to scale. If you're trying to have a trailing stop, anything above 45, you want to be out of any shorts. I'm looking for the 35 on the downside. We had a nice bounce there, a real quick bounce off of the 42 area. So again, hopefully you were able to take advantage of one of those or the other. On his first full day as president in his office, Biden will announce a dozen executive orders to combat the coronavirus pandemic, invoke the Defense Production Act to make supplies, and that includes masks, lab equipment, isolation gowns, gloves, swabs, syringes, raw materials used in vaccines, and other items needed to quickly get shots in the arms. 1 million a day. Biden has already set a goal of 100 million Americans vaccinated within the first 100 days of his administration. Stocks that are involved in those kind of opportunities had kind of a good day yesterday. The full strategy is centered around 7 goals: restoring trust with the American people, mounting a safe and effective vaccine campaign, expanding masks, testing, data, and treatments, expanding emergency relief or exercising the Defense Production Act, safely reopening schools, businesses, travel while protecting workers, protecting those most at risk, and advancing equity, and restoring U.S. leadership globally and building better preparedness for future threats. And those are all his goals that he has as we drifted down here to 36 and a half here. Unfortunately, we kind of missed it by just a little bit. This is where we maybe make a little bit of an adjustment to the downside here against the 35, maybe our lower end of our entry point, depending on how aggressive you want to be. Amazon offers to help vaccine efforts. Among the biggest challenges of national vaccine rollout is completing the last mile. Distribution efforts in the United States have been complicated by fractured access to vaccine signups and eligibility, only to see appointments canceled and shortages. Looking to help out and fight COVID, Amazon reached out to the newly installed Biden administration about prioritizing its essential workers, and even has a third-party health provider in place to administer vaccines at its facilities. Sure. Amazon can do everything. All right. Well, again, look, we bounced down to 36 and change. Unfortunately, we were looking at 35. Might have to make a little bit of an adjustment there on the downside if you're a little risk averse. Some of you might cancel the level if you're risk averse even more. Again, everybody trades a little bit differently. There's not one set way of doing this. You can see how the market reacts to a certain opportunity, and then if the price action says, well, I don't like it this way, let's do something different. Okay, we can do something different. It all depends on your risk tolerance. What happened to fears of regulation and taxes? U.S. stock indexes are pointing to another positive opening this morning after major averages ended the session higher on Wednesday following Joe Biden's inauguration in Washington. Shares are buoyed by hopes of a mega stimulus plan, all but forgetting the one prominent fear of regulation and corporate taxes that followed his election in November. What happened? Well, Treasury Secretary Yellen now, it used to be Munchin forever, but now it's Yellen, said this week that Biden's current focus is relief for American families hit by the coronavirus pandemic, not raising taxes. And it could be quite some time before the discussions resurfaces. U.S. business leaders have also backed the new president, signaling open dialogue to ensure that can shape policy, while corporate America has been increasingly embracing different economic models. So there you have it. We're making all-time new highs here because nobody's talking about taxes. Again, at some point you're going to have to pay for all this stuff, right? I mean, it's not like it's a given. It's not like it's a, but you first have to get out of the hole and worry about, you know, the rest of this, which makes sense. They did the same thing in 2008 with the financial crisis. You know, the government was there as a backstop. And whether you liked it or not, it did work. And the same thing here, you know, so you gotta do something sometimes to help out, especially in 100-year situation. And I've said this before the election that nothing's really going to happen bad for at least a couple of years because they're going to have to come out with another stimulus package either way, even if Trump won or Biden, and you know, so it was going to happen either way. And again, kept the market going up to the upside. So we'll see. All right, again, if you were trading and you were trying to stay short and you had a trailing stop, maybe probably out here of any shorts and just kind of being a little bit careful down if we go retest at, well, we have 35. Again, be a little bit careful there. We got down to 6.5. That's unfortunate, but it is what it is. So it comes a little bit more tenuous. Again, all depending on your risk tolerance. Some of you will adjust a little bit. Some of you will cancel the 35 level altogether. It's all depending on how you want to. At least you have options, and you have options for reasons, right? It's not like I'm making things up here. It just, there's reasons why you would cancel. There's reasons why you would adjust, and there's reasons why you would wait for the next opportunity. We're always focused on reasons to trade. That's the one main goal here, is to give the trader reasons to trade. I think it adds to his ability or her ability to have confidence in the trades that you put on, and your trades that you put on. Once you realize that you have reasons that it'll work. And so what we're trying to do is give you those reasons or hand you those reasons out there so that you can feel comfortable in your decision making when you start putting on these trades. Anybody have any questions? Hey, you can put them in the chat box area there. I have that window opened up, and I'll be able to see any questions that you have quicker. So that's a good place to start. Yes, we do. We do have a education course that we have, and we use this venue right here to help us with those that learning process. If you're interested in that, Brad, who was on here prior to the opening, could definitely give you a little bit more information on how we do this, when we do it, etc., how much it cost is, and everything. So he'll be able to talk to you about it if you just put in um, your cell phone number in there. We'll be able to get back to you. The only people that can see it, the number here is Brad and I, so you don't have to be afraid that people are going to call you. So if you just leave your telephone number in there, we'll get back to you momentarily, in a little bit. Or any contact information you want to give us. Oh, I was stuck here in a little bit of a range. So it's all right. No big deal. That's what is going to happen. So just be patient. Thanks there, Don. I appreciate it. Don's going to put his telephone number in there so Brad has somebody to call. That's so sweet of you. You can always count on Don to help us out here. Because that's exactly what Brad needs, somebody to bother, talk to. All right, again, we continue to down tick here. Again, if you're concerned about the 35 there, make a little bit of an adjustment, decide how you want to trade it. So everybody's different, and I respect that. So kind of adjust to your risk tolerance. You have to accept the as long as you understand the risk, then you make the adjustments accordingly. And that's what we're here to try to explain to everybody.
Hey, Fur, I just sent out to you a link for you to sign up for Saul's Discounted Monthly, to join the family, and then post your telephone number, and then I'll give you a ring up. Here, I'll send it out to you in the chat area. I think I sent it out to you earlier, but I'll send it out to you again. It's usually $379 a month. Right now it's on for $100. So grab the deal, join the family, and then we'll set up a time to talk about Saul's mentoring and his coursework. That's out to you now. Hey, Max, I also sent it out to you just so you have it. Mark K, I sent it out to you. Yoram, I'll send it out to you now. Yoram, I think I just sent it out to you the other day. Let me send it out to you again. There you go. So Max, you should have it. Mark K, you should have it. Just let me know back in chat. Yoram, let me know. And for when that's done, I'll authorize you in the background. Same with the others. And they get to keep the discount. It won't roll to $379. Yeah, it'll stay at the $25 a week, $100 a month.
All right, we drifted quickly back down, got down to 37 there, and came back up. Very, very quiet market. A little range bound here again. Be a little bit careful. I mean, you have to want at 35. It keeps teasing us a little bit. That's okay. Ain't gonna happen. Ain't gonna happen, right? So be a little bit careful down there. We obviously like to get the opportunity and the level the first time to it. We miss, or we come close, or we kind of go through it the second, or get through it the second time. It becomes a little bit more risky. So that's why we have to be patient and wait for the opportunities. Right now, again, we were thinking of getting, if we were going to get short there, it was right off the pivot there, and there was a reason to get short. And now we're just kind of drifting back and forth here in this no trade zone that I like to call when the market just kind of gets in a range and doesn't really do anything. All right, again, a little range bound here. Maybe a little resistance around the 46, but I would definitely keep a tight stop there. Anything above 48, you want to be out of any shorts if you're going to even trade this. I mean, again, you could look for trades, but we don't like to overtrade and or trade for no reason. We like to be patient and wait for the opportunities to present themselves. One reason we don't like to overtrade is because we don't like to give uh, brokerage houses commissions for no reason. So I have a thing about brokerage houses getting freebie money from us, because if we trade, we lose money, and the next trade you're trying to make money and you make a little bit back, or next trade you make the rest of it back. So you made 3 trades there and broke even, but you paid commissions, and who wants to give them money for no reason? So instead of doing that, let's just be patient and wait for the opportunity to present themselves. Not trade this little choppiness here. All right, still range bound. So again, patience is important. I mean, I like to talk all the time, but we need something to talk about, right? As far as trading is concerned. So that's why you might hear some, when we focus more on the morning hours, remember that, um, than anything else, we get more ebbs and flows and more opportunities, a little bit more volume in the morning hours than there are as the afternoon goes on. If you've been trading here the last couple of days, you see how quiet it is in the afternoon, and there's usually a one-way trade, usually going, well, last couple of days have been going up, but very difficult to trade. Yeah, and so there's different ways you have to adjust your trading methodology for those kind of trades as well. And we talk about that in our education course as well. But again, everything is we do here is based on price action, and it's market dependent. Uh, we don't try to create trades. It's not what we do. Anybody have any questions, please feel free to ask them in the chat box area. As we kind of just be patient here, a little range bound here. Definitely be careful there around the 35, only because of the way the market price action is playing itself out. Could be a little bit more risky than it was 20 minutes ago when we first tried to test it, but never got down there. Yeah, I mean, I got short around the 45 area there. Anything above 49, you're out of any. I mean, that was a couple times ago. I don't know now if it'd be as strong as it was a little while ago. The first couple times to it, but now we're up here for the fourth time, so I'd be a little bit careful here. We work with divergencies. I don't know what that word means. So if you want to explain that to me, I'll be able to answer it for you. It could mean a lot of things. So instead of trying to guess, explain that word to me, and then I'll try to answer it for you. Maybe I think of it as I use a different terminology. So that's the only problem here with the 45. I mean, obviously it's a settlement price, so it's worked a couple times already. So it could work again since we're in our range bound. But what's is up here for the fourth time, so it's my only problem with that, Steve. But again, that's my thing. It's not yours. You like to dabble in a range. Slow volume, strong movement. Slow volume, strong movement. Well, if you call yesterday's trade, late afternoon trade, to fit into that category where it was very slow volume but one-way trade, I don't. No, okay. I look at volume. I don't understand. We do take into consideration volatility, and that's what we're trying to focus in on. I don't know if that falls into your category of divergence, but we do have different ways to trade when the market slows down and when the market picks up volatility. So I don't know. I don't. That's. I don't. No, I'm not. I'm not looking at that so much. All right. Again, we were warning you about the. Well, somebody asked me about the 45 there. I suggested that maybe it's a little bit more risky given the fact that we are coming up here for the fourth time. It kind of blew through it. And so we're going to we get above the well, he said 48. You definitely want to be out of any short. So we're definitely if you did get short there again, that was kind of an easy no call there against 45. If you ask me, I gave you my opinion. And now we're coming up here. It looks like if we hold, if we stay above 46, we might continue to rally, but we have to stay above 46 here. See what happens. We just market just kind of took some of these shorts out of the market. They were playing that range game. So yeah, I don't that your explanation, well, I'm sure was dealt right on, but I just I probably look at it a different way. But um, we keep things kind of simple here. We kind of let the market tell us what to do off of the technical analysis that we have, and I guess you could. I mean, I'm sure there's a name for what I do that's in some kind of book. Someplace. I call it. I have our own terminology for some of the things that we do. So again, I'm not. I'm sure. Somebody put a nice word to it, but I don't understand how you. I mean, I understand what you're saying there. Low volume, big move. That I think happens in the afternoon, and we can deal with that. So. All right, again, we're coming back up here. I think we're getting a little bit bullish here as long as we stay above the 46 area. We're definitely out of any shorts. I said that if you were going to short anything above 48, you want to be out of any shorts. So we got above 48. So if we stay, and now we're getting a little bit bullish here, as long as we stay above the 46. So we have to, as long as we don't close below 46. So you can kind of find, I gave you your exit strategy. We have to close below 46. There's a difference between going down and trading below 46 and then not closing below it. So keep that in mind. But you can also have your entry, your stop. And that way, if you have your stop, then you can figure out where your entry point is. So you kind of go backwards, right? If you are looking to maybe get long here. First level on the upside we have is all the way up at 59. That's our next level of resistance. And if you're trying to stay long, have a trailing stop. We'll try to get up to the 59 area. If you look at the chat box area, our levels are printed in. Those are the levels that we gave out this morning. And so the first level resistance on next level resistance on the upside is at 59 there. I'm trying to keep you a little bit long here, looking for a push higher. You're ruining my call, Don. Hell, thought you and I worked together. You don't have to be sorry, Don. I'm joking with you. You know how many things you say there, I don't comment on it because, I don't. This time I commented on it just for hell. You know I'm joking with you, right? Don is far from being a little sensitive. The only thing he's sensitive about, honestly, is the fact that if I comment on his flip phone that he still uses, he gets a little testy with me. Otherwise, Don's the nicest guy around. But if you mention his flip phone and maybe he should like upgrade a little bit, he has a little bit of a problem with me then. That's the only time Don has a problem with me. So I will not mention his flip phone from the 1990s that Don still has, but he swears by it. So he likes to like stick it in his pocket in his overalls there down in Texas. You had a bag phone in the 1990s. Okay. All right. So that's the only time Don gets sensitive with me. So I got to be careful when I mention his flip phone. It's his pride and joy. All right. Again, maybe you, we said above 48, so the 48 might be holding here. And so it's a nice little buying opportunity. Again, we're looking for a push higher as long as we stay above the 46. Remember, I said close above 46, well, below, I mean. So if you did buy the dip there down to the 48 there a second ago, you're getting a nice little rotation. This is where we can get some price action opportunities. Again, just based on the work that we do and price action that the market is telling us, we're always waiting for the market to kind of tell us what we're going to do. We don't only counter trend trades, or also sometimes we got momentum trades based on the price action. And this was obviously one situation where we looked at the price action to help us. We got ourselves up here in this little range. Again, the market dipped down to the 48 area there. If you're looking to buy it here, we wanted to try to be long here, and market is upticking very nicely for us. Trying to keep you long. And again, you're taking some profits off if you're trading multiple contracts. If you're just trading one, just have a trailing stop so you don't lose money on the trade. As we continue to uptick here a little bit. So if you did buy them there and when it dipped down to 48, you're maybe taking some profits here and then look for the eventually the 59 area. That's our next goal. But nice trade overall. All right, so got a nice little push up there and went right up to our green band right up there, kind of pulled back. So that's why I suggest to take some profits against that 52 area-ish. Again, all we're trying to do is take advantage of ebbs and flows of the market. And we kind of let the market dictate our opportunities. And the first level that we had there at 42 was one. Then we kind of stagnated, ran around doing nothing for a little bit, and then finally trying to keep you long up here. And hopefully you're taking some profits along the way. We got to turn bullish on the market just about 10 minutes ago and got up to our green band and came off. So if our green band players are in there, you are taking advantage of that little trade. All right, good trade there, Don, hopefully. All right, the market continues to uptick again. We're trying to keep you a little bit long here based on what we think the market might try to inch up here. If you're trading, you want a tighter stop, anything below 47. You want to be out of any longs if you did happen to buy them there. With a trailing stop, obviously, if you have multiple contracts, you're taking some profits. If you're trading just one contract, you're going to take some profits, right? And so you got to take your 2-3 points. You even got 4 points if you bought the 48, and look for the next opportunity. That's all. All right, the market again inching up here, trying to keep you a little bit long here, looking for the next level on the upside we have is 59, but you can see there's some other levels of resistance up there as well. So keep that in mind. Was I this cool or calm when I was trading in the pit? Yeah, I mean, there were times where you did not know I had a position on when I was trading on the floor. If you started talking to me, I didn't mean not talk to you, and you wouldn't know. And then all of a sudden, I'd start, it comes onto my level. Then I'd say, "Excuse me," and then I'd start, doing what I had to do. But yeah, there were a couple times where I knew what was going on as far as what the market was doing, and I just kind of waited. When I got to my level, then I started. I ignored whoever I was talking to and did what I had to do. I mean, it doesn't happen right away. It takes it takes a little bit of time to get there. Meaning not time as far as the trade is concerned, but time as far as getting to a point where you kind of just, you believe in what you're doing, and you just kind of let the market do its thing, and then hopefully, it gets up to where you want it to get to, and you can take advantage of it then. Sure, no problem there, Fur. I mean, did you buy it there, Mark? How many times? How many hours do you spend in the pit daily? It all varied on if we were busy or not. Um, you know, Definitely, I would say minimally 3 hours in the morning. That was, I'd usually leave. We started at 7:15, 7:20. I'd be in the pit. I mean, if I get out, I hardly would ever get out. I mean, if I had a really fantastic morning, I would leave earlier, but usually I'd stay till about 10, 10:30. So 3 hours for sure, maybe a little bit more, but yeah. And then if go have breakfast, combat the wind chill, walking across the street to the restaurant, come back through the wind chill, and then maybe trade the afternoon if I was down a little bit or if I was down. Um, there were other activities I could have done up in my office. I don't know, maybe played a little backgammon for a couple dollars, keep me entertained during the winter months. We had backgammon tournaments up in the office. You know, Stuff like that. Yeah, but 3 hours for sure in the morning. I mean, usually that was about how long I would probably, unless again, if I had a really good morning and a number comes out 7:30 and you catch something, I could be gone by 8:15. Usually, usually I'd wait for a number. There's usually a number that comes out at 9, so I probably would wait for the number that comes out at 9. But again, the thing is, it's all in your head because if you have a good trade in the morning, right? You're not going to trade the same. You're not going to be as aggressive the rest of the day. So my thinking is that if I made more than what I try to make every day, uh, I'm not. And then what am I going to do? Like, am I going to keep being aggressive? Because if you're not aggressive, you know, if you're trying to be too cautious, that just doesn't work out usually because you're not you're not thinking about the market. You're thinking about your money. So for me, that's why I always talk about, how do you deal with when you're being up and what you're going to do and how you're going to trade. When you exit, then when you get out of here. So, and that's only because you're not as aggressive when um, once you're up a certain amount of money and you feel good about that day or morning, you don't, you're not going to be trading the same. That's the only thing, right? But I would have felt guilty if I left before 10. I mean, I had to put in some hours. You know, couldn't go home and tell my wife that I worked all day if I didn't get to at least 10. But I mean, you have to remember, though. I will say, the it sounds like it's an easy job, but there's a lot of pressure that you take on. There's a lot of mental anguish that when you put on it. You're trading in there for those 2-3 hours or 4 hours. It's a lot of pressure on you that you don't get in an 8-hour day if you're at an office. So let's if you look at it that way, it's a little bit different, right? And you got a position on, it's not going your way. How are you going to get in? How are you going to get out of it? Well, there's a lot of pressure there. But if you're No, if you get that pressure for 2, 3 hours in a day, that's more pressure than you would have sitting in front of an office for 8 hours. You know, and dealing with people. So I didn't have to deal with people. I just yelled at them, which is probably why I don't do a good job here because I don't have anybody to yell at. I got to be nice here and talk to people. It's kind of tough to do, especially when you're talking to yourself all the whole time. All right. Well, we're trying to keep you along. Well, yeah, I yell at you and Don because at least you guys yell back at me, you know, which I appreciate. I don't mind yelling at you and Don. Don at least takes his flip phone out and starts yelling at me. That's cool. I like that. You, on the other hand, how was your spa day yesterday? I'm sorry I called you at the wrong time. Didn't want to interrupt your spa. Sorry. Your flip phone works. Yes. Well, my Apple phone does not work in the basement. So there you go. His flip phone works in his basement. I didn't even know you had a basement there, Don. I don't know. You know, maybe your wine cellar you're talking about. Yeah, that's right. You know, I didn't think you had a basement. Yeah, what are you talking about? You messing me up. The wine cellar. It's a metal building. Yeah. Yeah. Well, you have to with all the rain you guys get down there, so it doesn't float away. Hey, we're getting up to 35 degrees today in Chicago, maybe 40, they're saying. Then it's going to get 17 tomorrow. How we doing? Well, it is, late-ish January, so we're 1 month almost out of winter, so we have one more month to go. If we're really, I consider March 1st like the turning point in the winter because even if we get snow, usually it's not going to stay around long because the weather kind of shifts a little. So I'm just trying to get through January and February with the weather here and then feel good about it because when March comes around, I'm feeling really good. You got your fur. Your fur was ready when why do you talking about? Stop talking. Seriously, 86 degrees yesterday, and you're telling me about your fur coat. Sorry, not buying it. All right, so we're flagging range mound up here. Looks like it wants to try to uptick some more, get above. I'm looking at still looking at 59 as a target here. You can adjust your stops a little accordingly if you're trying to stay long. They really pulled. I mean, we knew it was going to be kind of slowish today because they really pulled. The volume overnight was very light, not much going on, and just a continuation of that right now. Yeah, I agree. VIX is getting to the point where it's going to start getting really low. It's at 21 right now, and it starts continue. If this continues to rally, we're going to get into the teens. It's not going to be good. That's not going to be good. It's just flagging. I mean, I think it's going to, again, the very light volume today, so don't expect much of much. It's going to take its time today. I think it's more than anything doing whatever it decides it wants to do. There's really the volume is very light, so there's no follow through. Sorry, it can't be busy all the time for you there, Don. I understand. I get you. I know you wanted to be busier. Good morning there, Andrew. How are you? If somebody can re-enter the levels in there for Andrew, he just joined us. And those are the levels we put out this morning. You're from the UK, correct? That's why it says Andrew UK on there. Well, how's the other side of the pond doing these days? Not good. Well, we're not far behind you, so don't worry. We might be in front of you, actually. We did. We took our 42 level worked very nicely the first rotation down to it. And then the 35 we just kind of missed, and we got long here above 48. And we've been long up here looking for a push higher. So a couple trades there. And maybe if you were a little aggressive, you could have gotten short against our pivot early on in the morning as the market kind of set itself up for a nice little push to the downside early on. So there were a couple trades this morning that you could have taken if you were a little aggressive. But we were trying to keep you long here. As you can see, the market gets very, very quiet very, very quickly and just kind of stagnates these days. But we were trying to get you long here above the 48, and we pushed up here to 53 and change, and then came back down, and we're in this little range here. So still trying to keep you a little long, looking for a push a little higher. But it's stalled out, and it's decided it's not going to do anything right away, and it's going to test your patience, test the trader's patience, and basically saying, I'm going to do what I want when I want to do it, and you're not going to tell me what to do. And that's exactly what's going on right now. Man, when they pulled the plug, they pulled the plug, right? But again, we thought that it would be very light volume trade day today. And again, this is what happens when the market is strong like this. We don't get much volatility. You got to pick your entry points and kind of just put your stop in there and just kind of let the thing do its business. And again, we were trying to keep you along there above 48 for a while now, but it's obviously kind of stagnant here. So, if you're bored, take profits. If not, leave your stop and walk away. Hopefully, don't take a loss on it if you're just trading one lot. But trading multiple contracts, you can obviously peel some off and leave some on. Multiple ways of trading this stuff when it gets like this. But obviously, the key was to get you along at around 48, which we talked about earlier. I know, but it ain't happening today, man. It's just brutal today. I mean, it was slow yesterday too. I don't know what you're talking about. It took a long time for it to slowly rally. We're getting that afternoon trade early today. But we're definitely stuck in a range here, and we'll see. Hopefully, it's not going to be here all day. I don't know. Maybe it will be. But those 5-minute bars are getting tighter and tighter and tighter. And obviously, at the close, that's another story. Yeah. The close is another story. You didn't say the close. You just said yesterday afternoon. Yeah, the close was a little crazy-ish. Market holding the S&Ps back? No, I don't think so. Just because they're rallying a little bit? Nah. If anything, we would have broke down, right? because the bonds are rallying, but we're not even doing anything. So no, like I said earlier, when we first started, you could tell that it was exceptionally light with the volume overnight, no movement, tight range. You kind of get your hint from all of that from the, or a little bit from overnight trade. Sometimes you get some volatility overnight, at least there's some volatility in the morning, but yeah, yeah, I don't think bond market is, again, bonds, there's sometimes disconnect between bonds and S&Ps. Sometimes there is more of a connection, you get more correlation between them, inverse or not. At the time being right now, the bonds are kind of, again, light volume there also. The fact that Yellen said something about a 50-year bond created some interest in the yields there in the 30-year. Again, I know it's been repetitive here, but since the market's not doing much, we're trying to keep you long and looking for a little bit of a push higher. And again, it's one of those things where, like I said, you just got to put the order in, put your stop in. I was going to say come back in a half an hour, but in this situation, come back in an hour, see what's going on. Hopefully, you didn't get stopped out and the market's higher. That's all you can do. So that's basically about it, at least for a time being. Again, but that's okay as long as you know what the market is doing and telling us. That's fine. All right, we're gonna. What was that? What, you didn't get the follow through? Kind of stopped. A couple ticks above and stopped. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, but you couldn't buy it up there. You just hoped that it wanted to push up, but it didn't. I mean, right now it has to get below 46 for you to lose any momentum to the upside. I mean, there's nothing here. Doesn't take much to make it move down a few, 2 points, 3 points. That's why you got to trade this very lightly. Trade it very small and just kind of see what happens. Well, if anything, if you're looking to get long, it's giving you a chance to get long here. I don't know if you want to or not, but anything below 46 out of any longs, if you feel that you at least you have a entry point and an exit strategy if you're looking to get long. If otherwise you don't like the price action this way right now, then just all right, just wait. 59 above, really, nothing else. Get below, well, we had a nice little push up here. So if you were looking to get long there, the market actually give you a chance down there just to buy it. And a nice little pop up here. So even though some of you didn't like it, but it gave some of you guys a chance to get long there if you just bought them in there just when I started talking. Nice little quick pop up. So, but anything below 46 out of any longs, then we'll see what happens from there. I think we get below 46 and close below 46. We might continue to push to the downside, but at least it's giving us an opportunity here if you are so inclined. All right, again, we didn't get below the 46 there, so it's trying to see if it wants to hold up here. If not, if it gets below 40, closes below 46, then we might have a rotation back down to the downside. But again, this is just a range bound trade, very, very quiet, so not too excited about anything, but looks like we're in the middle of the range here for intraday, so maybe a little bit of support there if you did buy them. See if we can't sneak back up there a little bit. Either way, it's a very, very quiet day, and we did have a few opportunities, and we just have to be patient and wait for the market kind of to dictate what we're going to do instead of us trying to go out there and create things. We'll get back here in a bit. Again, we said below 46, so you could have gotten maybe, decided how much risk you wanted to take there and see if we can't rotate this back up. As long as we close above it, it's still a little bit bullish. Otherwise, if we get below it, we'll look for a push back down to the 40 area and maybe even lower than that. We'll see what happens. All right, get back here in a bit.